Well, good Saturday, everybody. We are up here on the Blue Ridge Parkway outside of Blowing Rock, between Blowing Rock and Linville, North Carolina, and we are going to hike the Rough Ridge Trail today. Now, this is not necessarily an ideal day for hiking. It's still quite cool, but the snow and ice has melted. They had a little bit up here a couple of days ago. It's pretty much gone. So, to be honest with you, we're just itching to do something besides restaurant reviews. That's all pretty much. We want
to be outside.
That's pretty much all we've done for the past 2 months since January, when we brought you some beautiful snow footage from the Smoky Mountains. So today we're going to hike Rough Ridge. It's a short hike. It's one you want to be very careful on because it's very rocky and you can fall and hurt yourself, but it is only moderately strenuous. It's something that pretty much anybody could do. We have met people in their 70s doing this,
yes,
coming off of it. We brought you videos from here before, but it's been a couple of years. Our favorite time to come to Rough Ridge is in the fall. It's very beautiful in the fall. There's nothing blooming, no leaves on the trees, but quite honestly, we just want to get out today and do something.
Yes.
Do something in nature. So this is the closest one to us that we really enjoy doing. So we're going to take you on a little short hike to Rough Ridge. Now, at the end of this video, we didn't expect to do this, but we were just amazed as we were driving the Blue Ridge Parkway up here from Blowing Rock, how much debris and damage there still is from Hurricane Helene over 5 months ago. So we're going to be stopping at various points after we do the closeout on this and just showing you some of the damage that we passed on the way up here. So stay with us. And the Rough Ridge overlook where we're standing now sits at an elevation of 4,293 feet. And I don't know what the peak elevation is up at the top, but we do climb. So I'm going to guess 4,500 feet. So we're going to show you some pretty scenery at the top. Now, I don't remember that lower red and white sign being here the last time. I'm not going to tell you it didn't cross my mind, but I didn't bring my drone anyway. But you're not supposed to launch or land from a Blue Ridge Parkway overlook, but I was questioning whether we could from the top of the rock. There's my answer. Okay, so the trail begins by walking up these steps, and I will say in the fall, if you come peak weekend, this bridge is absolutely amazing because there are some yellow maples that just looks like it's on fire through here. And trail apparently is going to be a little wet and muddy today, so you do want to be careful and be wary of that. Now, there are a lot of large rocks here along this trail, and we're just beginning, but
that's a big tree that fell.
Oh, is it?
Now noticing, yeah, look at the way the branches are.
All right, I'll walk up here in a minute and see if I can't see the root system. But again, this is a rocky trail. It's not particularly difficult, but just especially wet rocks. Please be careful if you do this hike. First time I did it, it was also wet, and I named it the 10,000 Ways to Hurt Yourself Trail. So
right up there's where the tree broke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go look.
All right, there is the tree that we were looking at from the trail. So it looks like somebody slid just a little bit on the trail. It is wet. This is from some of the snow and ice melt from earlier in the week. Now, did you not tell me, because we didn't know if this section of Blue Ridge Parkway would be open, did you not tell me that when you checked it last night, the section from Soco Gap in Maggie Valley to Cherokee, the Great Smoky Mountains, was still closed? It said winter weather was the reason.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe there's nothing here.
I know.
So maybe there are still some icy patches, or maybe they opened it today, but as of last night, and I'm imagining from Soco Gap down to Water Rock Knob especially, because that's where it gets really high.
Oh yeah.
But there are some other trails that, or other hikes that you can do from the Tanawa Trail. Linn Cove Viaduct, 2.6 miles. You're going to have some really good views of that coming up. Beacon Heights, 4.1 miles. The Daniel Boone Scout Trail, 3.2. And Price's Park, 8.9. Now this bridge here, this is actually the one I was mistaken a minute ago when I mentioned the other bridge, but this bridge here is absolutely gorgeous in the fall because those trees right there are bright yellow, and especially when the sun's hitting it, it's just absolutely beautiful right here along this bridge. But up here in the high country, nothing is blooming yet. We were down in Charlotte last weekend. There were some cherry trees blooming. We don't have anything blooming at the house except the forsythias are starting to get a few small yellow flowers. But up here in the high country, it's still pretty bare. Take it from somebody that knows, wet rocks at an angle like that are not your friend. When I was, I'm going to say 10, 11 years old, I was fishing on the Intracoastal Waterway between Sarasota and Siesta Key, Florida, and I stepped on a rock like that, just like that on the side. It had moss on it. Watch those moss covered ones. I fell and cracked my head open on the rock. Probably what's wrong with me now, but I sure did. I remember having a big knot, and I wasn't even thinking about this trail being wet, but I should have figured that. Because this is the first time we've actually been on the Blue Ridge Parkway since it reopened, what, last...
Well, I mean, we came up, we did that video after Hurricane Helene when they opened.
What month was that? Was that October?
Probably been October,
November?
early November.
Because pretty much all winter long, for most of it, this section's been closed because of the snow and ice.
Yeah.
And we're just now really being able to access it again. But just to let y'all see a little bit of what the trail's like here. It's a good little hike. If you just want to get a little exercise in without killing yourself and be rewarded with a good view, it's one of the best around here, truthfully. I did it solo the first time, and then I think we came back the next week, didn't we?
I think we did.
Because I wanted you to see it. And they don't call this the Rough Ridge Trail for nothing. It is rough and rocky. Alright, so not too far into the trail, you come upon this first viewing area. There's still a ways to go before the top, but there's some really good views from right here. So we walk up these steps, and I'll show you the view from the first rock here in a minute. So the trail does continue on, and we're going to take it all the way to the top, which is up there. Up there is the top of Rough Ridge. If you can see that gentleman standing up there, that's where we're going to be. Alright, so here is the view. This is Grandfather Mountain that you're looking at right there. Callaway Peak, which is the highest point on Grandfather Mountain, rises to just under 6,000 feet. It's 5,946 feet. So 54 feet shy of 6,000. And it is the tallest mountain in the northern Blue Ridge of North Carolina. once you get down to Mount Mitchell, which I was hoping we could see today, but the Black Mountains look like they're pretty much in the clouds or in the haze. And then south towards the Smokies is where you get the higher points. The bridge is the Linn Cove Viaduct. Right down there's the Blue Ridge Parkway in the foreground. And that little road you see right there, that's Highway 221. You don't see that when the leaves are on the trees, but it's pretty much open now. Then Blue Ridge Parkway continues up by the viaduct. That mountain, the mountain that's center screen now is Grandmother Mountain. I'll narrate some more when we get to the top. Charlotte skyline when there's no haze, but you can see the Charlotte skyline from here. So we continue on. A lot of steps right through here. This is looking back down towards Charlotte, which again you could see if there was no haze. So we continue on. Now, I've never noticed this in all of our hikes up here, the arrangement of the rocks. I don't know if somebody just did that or if I've just missed it, but it almost looks like a little grave or something, like for a pet or something.
Because that
that's what it looks like.
One is very flat.
Yeah, I don't think it is. I think somebody just did that, but maybe that's always been there. I don't know.
I've never noticed.
Now, at this point on the trail, this is actually my favorite spot, and we're not at the top yet. I love this rock right here. From this angle, I actually nicknamed it Whale Rock, because from this angle, just a little bit, you got to use your imagination. It kind of looks like a whale at SeaWorld coming up out of the water for his fish treat after he just did a trick. Not really, but again, just imagine. But I love the view from that rock. We're going to go up and sit on it for a few minutes. Alright, so we're going to walk out on this rock. I do not advise anybody going to the edge or even near it, but we're going to sit down in a nice safe portion of it. Yeah, I'm going to pan around and get all that again. The view's not going to change much more from here. Got Grandfather Mountain, the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Linn Cove Viaduct, which is the bridge that kind of juts out from the side of the Grandfather Mountain there, and then Highway 221. And you can see that road is going down back into Caldwell County, the Globe and Mortimer and Edgemont area of Caldwell County. Very beautiful place. We haven't been there in 25 years because it's just so remote back in there. Runs along Wilson Creek. But anyway, that road will eventually descend into that area. And then of course the Blue Ridge Parkway right there. Now, you all know I'm a peak identifier, so nothing I'm going to identify now is especially exciting, but way out there in the distance, I can't really see my screen, way out there in the distance, that little hump, it's not even really, it shouldn't be called a mountain, but it's Baker's Mountain. That's the tallest mountain in Catawba County, which is where Hickory is. You can hear that wind whipping up a little bit once we get up here on the exposed ridge line. Then looking back down into Caldwell County, we live down in that valley right there, just beyond High Brighton Mountain, which I hope I'm focused on right now. But I could sit up here all day and try to figure out peaks, because I'm just like that. But I'm telling you something, folks, when you are up here in the fall, and we will come back in the fall, Lord willing, we want to bring you another fall video. It's been, I guess, 3 years this year.
It's been a while.
There is a swath of color right there that extends down from below the viaduct, and it always looks like it's just on fire right there, but there will be green on both sides of it, and then you can actually watch the color just turn green the further down in the valley as you get. So from right here you get several weeks of good fall color, starting here and just working down into the valley. This is a great fall hike. Are you sunning on the rock?
Yeah, the wind
That's what
wasn't blowing.
snakes and reptiles do. They lay out on the rock and sun, but there's not much sun today.
No, but the wind wasn't blowing, it'd be about right.
The first time I ever did this hike, about 5 years ago, I came up on my day off, solo hike. I found it online, knew it was close, so I came up and did it, and I pretty much had the trail to myself that day. I think I met 2 or 3 other people at most, but I had this rock to myself, and I remember thinking, what a peaceful place. And I was actually going to do this, to bring my Bible up here and just read it and spend some time praying and reading scripture, and you know, maybe getting some ideas for a message. And because I just thought, this isn't a place nobody ever hikes, you know, just a few people know about it. Next time we came, there's probably 40 people on this rock.
Yeah, it's so, especially like you were saying in the fall.
Yeah, well, I think I came in the summer, but it was just one of those days. I think it had been kind of misty that day, and people just weren't out hiking, not many. So I just thought it was always like this, but this is a very, very popular and crowded hike.
Yes.
Even today, we've encountered several people. Yes, it's not as bad as we've seen it in the fall, but it's still
quite a few.
I think people are just itching to get out and do stuff. People in these mountains have been pretty much in their homes all winter, yeah, as far as doing nature stuff, anyway. But anyway, I'm enjoying being out.
Me too.
Just honestly, I'm tired of doing restaurant reviews all the time. But we are out in nature today. The temperature up here when we left the car was 46, 63 at home, 17 degree drop, just coming up to the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Not including the wind.
Not including the wind.
And that's just gusts every so often.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a pretty day. The sun's trying to peek through now.
It is a pretty day.
And back down there is where we were when I showed you the wooden walkway and the wooden steps. We're looking back down on that now. And that first rock that kind of juts out looks like it's sticking its tongue out, sort of. I don't know if you can see that or not through here. Sometimes it's very hard to know what I'm recording exactly. That's the rock we were standing on back down there. I've got the wind screen on, so I hope you're hearing my voice over the wind. We're not using microphones. Like I said, it can fill up in a hurry. This is just like 2 minutes after the last video clip. So yeah.
No, but she's a great vibe.
After a brief rest at the rock, we press on toward the mark for the highest point on Rough Ridge. If you notice a little scripture interspersed there. Actually, it says, press towards the mark for the high calling of God in Christ Jesus, but we're pressing for that one too. Again, trail conditions are just getting worse and worse. Squish. That's not the sound you like to hear when you only brought one pair of socks. Remember when your Uncle Nick fell into the Mississippi River?
Yes.
When we went up to where it starts in Itasca?
Yeah.
He was trying to walk across on some rocks and ended up going in both feet. So when you come to the top, you're going to come to the area with these cables. There's a little trail that veers off to the right that says that's the continuation of the Tanawa Trail. For some reason, I thought that ended just out through there, but you can take a right there. But if you want to continue to the top of Rough Ridge, go right through here. Okay, so just gained another subscriber. Guy coming off that trail to the right asked me about our shirts. He wanted to take a picture of our shirts so he could, we're wearing our hoodies today for the channel. So here is the top of Rough Ridge. And the views up here, they're good, but they're not a lot different than what we showed you from what I call Whale Rock. In order to see them, you do need to scale this little rock right here. Yeah, he wanted to take a picture of my shirt. He wants to check out the channel.
Oh, nice.
The guy coming off of that trail.
On the trail.
Yeah. Alright, so you really want to...
Yeah, be careful.
Probably don't want to be recording while you're doing this, so give me a second. I don't know if you can hear that wind whipping up, but it's blowing pretty good up here. And I have conquered Rough Ridge. Shaughnessy is close, but has not quite conquered Rough Ridge.
I've conquered it. The cable ends right there, so that's good enough for me.
Alright, so I have to turn around to get Grandfather Mountain because it's directly behind me. So here again, you've seen this view several times now. Now, they're kind of in the haze. I'm going to try, but the highest mountain range in not just North Carolina, but east of the entire Mississippi River is the Black Mountain Range. I'm going to try to zoom up. I did not bring my good zoom camcorder. This is my little Sony ZV-1 vlogging camera. But that range way out there in the haze, I actually do see Mount Mitchell, the highest point in eastern America. Hold on, let me move back over to it. If you can see in the haze that range out there, that is the Black Mountains. Highest mountain range east of the Rocky Mountains and east of the Mississippi River. Mount Mitchell is in it, 6,684 feet above sea level. And let me try to see if I can spot. If you can see those two mountains that are look like they're pointing in different directions. I wish I could see my screen. I'm gonna guess I'm getting them, but you can see one mountain kind of pointing to the left, one pointing to the right. The one pointing to the left is Table Rock. The one pointing to the right is Hawksbill. We have hiked both of those. Table Rock is a hike where you sprained your ankle or something, didn't you? Yeah. You fell. I heard I was ahead of her. But we gotta tell this though. That's the one pointing to the left out there. We did Hawksbill. We don't have a video from Hawksbill because we weren't vlogging then. That's before we started this.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, you were walking in front of me, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna just step in his footsteps, you know, just follow along. I mean, it wasn't like two. And I hear,
steps. And I turn around and look at her, and I don't see her. Then I look down and I saw her.
There she is.
Yeah. So you kind of had to do that hike with an ankle injury.
At least it wasn't bad, and I kept moving.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
It was fine.
I think it hurt you later, like you say, once you quit moving, it got stiff. But
yeah.
I'm going to try to get up on Hawksbill and Table Rock again. Don't know if I got them. It would really be cool. I don't know why they quit making or why they started making cameras without viewfinders. That's my one regret about our camcorder is I should have just paid the extra $150 and got the one with the viewfinder on it. But surely those two mountains are in there at some point. Wasn't going to record coming down, but there are some ice patches left. I am not sure how we missed that coming up.
Yeah, because it's the same way we came up.
A lady told us right as we started, said there's a couple of ice patches up near the top. So I was looking for them. Didn't see them, but they are still here. So if you do this hike in March or April, be aware of that. Okay, we're getting back near some of the area that I mentioned earlier where there's still a lot of damage, trees blown over from Hurricane Helene. So we're just going to show you just a brief little clip of that. We're 5 months out from the hurricane, and the area around Price's campground, Julian Price Memorial Park, still looks pretty bad. All right, so kind of keep your eye, but this one tree here looks like it was split. Oh, slow.
You see on the ground where they've cut a bunch of it.
Yeah, they cut a bunch of it that was covering the road, and here on the left, more of the same.
Which is a tree that's from the right. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It had splinters on.
Okay, yeah, there's nowhere to pull off there. I'd like to have got that. Pull off at the A loop of the campground, because there's still a tree blocking the entrance to the A loop.
Yeah, you can't go in there.
You would have thought they would have moved that by now, but I mean, you could cut it up in 15 minutes, but I guess they've been more concerned with getting it off the main areas of the parkway.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so you see that tree that has fallen, and they've actually cut a lot of them up. But this is the A loop to the Julian Price campground. We did a video here year before last. We camped here. We walked around the lake, but this is what the entrance looks like now. This tree, I mean, honestly, that tree could be cut out of the way in under 15 minutes, but it's still there. You can see where it's splintered from the top there. And then across the road, all right, well, we want to do our closeout now of our Rough Ridge hike. We actually came down to Julian Price Park picnic area, not the campground, the picnic area. There's both. Apologize for that beeping in the last segment. She asked me to roll my window down and record out the window some of the damage, and I neglected to put my seatbelt on. And her car is a little different than our other vehicles. Our other ones will warn you a time or two, then it's like, okay, it's your business. I do wear a seatbelt, by the way. I just neglected to put it on when we were going to be going real slow by there. And her car's different. It will continue to beep until you put it on or till you turn the car off.
No matter how slow you're going. It's like even if you're inching along, it'll beep.
Yeah. So anyway, apologize for the beep, but we drove down off of Rough Ridge to the Julian Price Memorial Park. The wind's whipping through here pretty good.
Yes.
It's about 40, I think we saw 41 degrees a minute ago. So it's 24 degrees warmer than it was the last time we did a closeout in Blowing Rock, which was 17 that time.
Yeah. Blowing snow.
Yeah, still windy, still kind of chilly out here. But Rough Ridge hike, tell us what you thought about it. I was amazed at how much cleanup there's still to do after Hurricane Helene.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Is that recording?
Pause it.
All right, sorry, she thought there was a problem with the microphone. I purposely changed the battery and put a fresh one in because we always lose the battery during the closeout. Lo and behold, another problem arises. So we're just not going to do uninterrupted closeouts with that camera, evidently. So start off again. Tell us about the Rough Ridge hike.
So it's always a nice hike. It is a very rough hike with all the different rocks and stuff that you climb over. I think every time we've been through there's always a bunch of wet, spongy areas. So you do have to be very careful hiking it. But it's beautiful. You know, it's not that far. It's not really that hard, just basically just like stepping up rocks. Very windy today, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty. Coming back, didn't have any issues. I got new glasses with progressive bifocals or whatever you call them. I got dizzy one time trying to get used to them, but other than that, there's no issues whatsoever, and it's a beautiful view, and it's more pretty in the fall. But it's
and I like her glasses.
Thank you, sweetheart.
They look good.
But it's a nice hike, especially in the fall.
It's definitely a fall hike that you want to do if you're in the Blowing Rock, Linville area. It's certainly, usually you get pretty good colors by the second weekend in October. It's one of the 3 earliest places in North Carolina, on the Parkway anyway, to start turning. Rough Ridge, graveyard fields below Asheville, and then the Cheryl-Hala Skyway seem to turn pretty early. But even the 3rd weekend in October, you can go up there and still, you saw the vast open valley there. You can just see color from either one of those weekends.
Yeah.
So I recommend it more in the fall. We just kind of talked about this yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, we do. It's like we want to get out and do something.
Yeah, we're just kind of
outside.
tired of being inside all the time and just going to restaurants to try to keep the videos coming. And we're still going to do restaurants, but we're a variety channel, so we don't want to just focus on restaurants. That's really mostly 99% all we've been able to do since January. But today we decided we was going to change that. Sunny day, a little bit cold, chilly, but we're not made of porcelain, so
yeah, we can handle it just fine.
Yeah. Appreciate everybody's concern there, but we're fine.
We're fine.
We have done sunrises at Klingman's Dome in what 10-degree weather.
10 degrees plus the wind.
With the wind at 30 miles an hour. We survived
cold.
It. So
I think the first time we did that, we didn't have coats or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm from like one of the, probably in the top 10 coldest states in the United States.
Yeah.
And I'm fine. I'm fine.
So, yeah, and I'm from here, but I love mountain winters. I like it cold. Anyhow,
I like a good snow.
Today is sunny, but it's just a cold breeze. It probably feels like it's maybe 35. It's about 41 actual temperature. But yeah, I really enjoyed Rough Ridge. Would you do it again?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those trails you got to be careful on because, like she said, there's always some spongy areas. Today's trail conditions, I didn't really think about that before we went because it did snow a little bit earlier in the week. Not much of that left, just those ice patches I showed you. But the trail was muddy. I got mud on the bottom of my pants. This was a clean pair of pants when I put them on. To come up here, they're going in the wash when we get home.
There was a girl, she had a pair of looked like brand new,
shoes.
Completely white. And I'm surprised she kept them as white as she did. They were almost to the top. And I told her, I said, I'm really impressed. I mean, mine were muddy, just starting off.
Yeah. And we're wearing hiking boots. I wouldn't recommend doing that trail with anything less than that, just to be honest with you.
Just to be safe.
It's a rough trail. It's not that long. I'm going to put the information, like the length of it, the altitude, the mile marker. I'm going to look all that up, and I'm going to put that in at the end after this closeout. But thank y'all so much for watching. We do hope you enjoyed the views. The trees are not got their leaves on them yet up here. It's going to be a while still. This is just March. The spring's not going to hit here to probably May. Things will start blooming back home in April.
Yeah.
But May pretty much up here. So you got to see a lot of bare trees today, but still a pretty hike. A lot more open views, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed Rough Ridge on the Blue Ridge Parkway between Linville and Blowing Rock, just below Grandfather Mountain and the Linn Cove Viaduct. We thank you so much for watching, and have a blessed day. And I'm sorry, you got to do your thing. If you like this video, like and subscribe.
Be sure to give it a thumbs up and follow us on Facebook.
All right, now have a blessed day.